What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Walter. Today I have a very special video. Today we are collabing the YouTube and Instagram for Olin admission. Today we're bringing you guys questions and concerns that you guys may have about Olin. And so with that being said, I wanted to make this video with a very special guest and new friend of mine.
Hi, I'm Moisés Garcia. I'm a first year here at Olin, and I help run Olin Admission Instagram. I'm very lucky to be able to make this video with Walter, and being that I make the content for the Admission Instagram, I'm just excited to be here today for this YouTube video.
So with that being said, we're just going to jump right in. We're going to ask each other questions that you guys have asked us, and so we're just going to go right in and jump right into it.
Yeah, so the first question we have today is for Walter. How does Olin help prepare for internships? What does the process look like when applying to grad school, and how does Olin help with that?
So Olin is really nice in the fact that our school is very project-based, and projects actually help recruiters and companies see where you apply your knowledge. And the great thing about Olin is that we don't just learn the stuff for a test, we're actually able to apply it. And I'm pretty sure you've been able to experience that a lot this year. I've had a year of that, and it's been great talking to recruiters about projects that we've done in class, because we're actually using what we're learning and we're applying it to something that we're interested in. In terms of getting an internship, that's exactly what recruiters are wanting to look at and want to hear you talk about. So it's a very great way to leave a great impression on the recruiter. In terms of applying to grad school, this is a little bit more down the road for me, but I was able to make a video with Sally Phelps of the Postgraduate Planning Office here at Olin, and we were able to actually create a video talking about all of the things that you might be curious about in terms of applying to grad school. Our graduate students go to very prestigious schools. They also are able to get a lot of scholarships and grants for those schools. The links to those videos will be down in the description box, and you guys can feel free to check it out if you guys are thinking about applying to grad school. So for those of you guys that are not aware, PGP is actually Postgraduate Planning Office here at Olin. They help you with internships, applying to grad school, applying to jobs. They are experts in their field, and they help each and every student with such great care and time. And so you feel like you actually are with someone that knows what they're doing in terms of life after Olin. All right, Moisés, got a question for you. Do I need to have a car at Olin?
So I find this question really interesting because I was dying to bring my car on campus. First interaction I had with one of the Olin admission officers was me asking, can I bring my car to campus? Of course, here at Olin, parking is free if you're a student, and parking is guaranteed. But in terms of needing a car, even in this time of COVID, I haven't found myself needing to get off campus that much or needing to drive around. Things are within walking distance for the most part. You have Needham, which is about a 25-minute walk depending on how fast you walk. In Needham, you can find most of the things you need, such as a CVS, a Walgreens, Trader Joe's, a Whole Foods, pretty much anything you need. And I think it's about a 10-minute drive, so you can say 40-minute walk. Sure, it's always going to be nice to have one, but you really don't need one here. Alright, so Walter, say I like to play sports, right? But Olin doesn't have a gym, so what's the deal with that?
Man, whoever asked this question, you asking the right people. Because I was also very interested in working out, as a lot of people do in college. They want to stay active, they want to go to the gym. Again, Moisés is right, Olin does not have a big gym. We have a small gym in one of the dorm room halls that is a room size, so it's not that big and doesn't have a lot of things, but luckily we do have Babson that we can use. Babson facilities are open to us Olin students, and by getting a Babson One card, we are able to actually use their facilities, use their gym, use their pool, use their basketball courts, volleyball courts, pretty much anything that you want to do, you're able to use at Babson. And the great thing about it is that it's free. So that means that we are able to not only go there and enjoy it, but also we don't have to worry about any sort of charge or any sort of thing like that. We also have an ice skating rink, or actually we don't, but Babson does, but technically that means that we do too. So that's also a great plus. So next question, what do you find yourself doing on the weekends?
So back home, the weekends were time where I would just wake up early, go to work with my parents, go to church on Sundays, typical things someone does when you're back home with your parents. But since I've been here at Olin, I tend to sleep in, which is not something I was used to back home, but it's definitely nice. I think it's a perk of living on your own. Both Walter and I know we go over to the dining hall, but I'll talk more about the dining hall later. As I'm grabbing food, I'll go eat it in my room. I'll work on some stuff, and throughout the day I'll switch throughout the dorm and the academic center, working on small things. Usually on Saturdays, I'm not really working, more just kind of like doing stuff to say I'm working. Depending on how much work you do during the week, they can be a lot more relaxful. For me, I love to relax on Saturdays and work hard on Sundays.
I'm honestly just staying inside. Honestly, just been working on the weekends. Nothing special. That's pretty much it.
Alright, so Walter, I got into this engineering school, but I don't really know what type of engineering I want to do. What do I do now?
So, this is perfect because you must be in the same exact boat that I was last year. I like engineering, I'm interested in it, but not exactly sure where I fit in. The great thing about Olin is that your first semester, as Moisés can probably testify, all of us are putting classes that touch on different subjects of engineering offered here at Olin, whether that be a mechanical engineering class, an electrical computer engineering class, and also a computer engineering / CS class. I'd say that for me, those first courses were helpful in realizing what I was good at and what I was not good at, and honestly it helped me realize what I didn't really like.
I will say also, if you know what you want to do, like myself, I know that I want to do mechanical engineering. Those classes that he's talking about are really good points for you to determine, am I right about what I want to do? That's one of the important things here at Olin, where you're getting an engineering experience that involves all different disciplines, and that overall makes you a well-rounded engineer.
Alright, so next question. How would you describe the overall vibe of Olin students / campus life here?
So I hope that through the Olin admission account, which you should follow if you're not right now, that you've kind of gotten a glimpse into the sort of community that there is on campus. I would describe it as a creative community. There's always something going on. There's always something being created, and that's why it's creative. Personally, I think I've never felt more comfortable in a place. There's a lot of people that think like you and that have the same goals as you. So working with these people and having fun with these people is just, it's a dream. So this is directly for you. What are some clubs and organizations that I can find here on campus and maybe at our neighboring campuses?
It's a great question. As a freshman last year in 2019, I was so obsessed with trying everything out. I wanted to do pretty much everything that was offered here at Olin, and I know it sounds very ambitious, but when you get here, you see everyone talking about so many cool things that I think that you kind of become overwhelmed and you kind of sign your name off every sheet and stuff like that. So there are a couple of clubs, I'm not going to name all of them, but the ones that I really kind of touched upon, which are really different. I joined a unicycling club for some reason, just to learn how to unicycle. Something that you don't really find in other places, honestly, and people here are really good at it. Moisés is also on a club called Formula.
We work on a Formula SAE car, basically a lot of electrical engineering and mechanical engineering as well. And it's basically like the same thing as Baja, just on an F1 car.
You don't have to be experienced, you don't have to have like a master's or anything. Babson has a lot of sports clubs, intramural clubs and teams. You can also do volleyball, which I did last year, which hopefully you guys have seen in some of the videos that I've posted on Olin's YouTube before, so I've definitely done volleyball there. Olin also has ultimate frisbee and soccer, I believe. I've never really gotten a chance to explore those clubs, but they're there. You could also look at more of these clubs and other things on the Olin website. Of course, we will leave down below in the description box. Of course, you can always make your own clubs here. That's also a possibility as well. Alright, so we got some collective questions that we can both answer now. These are questions that you guys have submitted to us as well, and so we're going to answer them with our own take. So, our first question is, how is the food at Olin?
Food at Olin is insane. Honestly, let me just say, their food is really good. Like, it's just something that there's always like a good amount of things that you can have. There's always a healthy option. Or multiple healthy options. There's always options that are not so healthy but taste amazing, and they tend to make really fancy food.
Yeah, honestly, my first experience chasing the Olin food that first week, as soon as you get to campus, I don't know what they do. They just go all out. They give you the best of the best. I felt like I was in like food heaven. I felt like in the movie when Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, when like everything just flying at you. All their food is great. Their ice cream is great. Their hamburgers are great. Their salads are great. The entrees, the pizza, like Moisés said. Everything is so tasty, especially coming from a place where, you know, food is food back home for me. But honestly, here there's such a diversity and it tastes so great. Sushi, burritos, you name it, we probably have it. Shout out to you, Olin Dining, because you make some great food for us.
You guys are the best.
Moisés, what's the most challenging course you are taking right now?
This is not normally a first semester class. Usually you would have this in your second semester, so he had it really hard. But it's called Quantitative Engineering Analysis. It's a class that you start in your second semester. But due to COVID, they started us early. I didn't have much experience with linear algebra coming into it. They expect students to not have a background in linear algebra, and that's why they kind of gave it to us this semester so that everyone could be on the same page. Like, everyone is struggling, so that way everyone can learn together.
One of the most challenging courses that I'm taking right now has to do with computer science, and so we're talking about foundations of computer science, and we are using a programming language that is not typical, it's not popular at all. For those of you guys that, I don't know, you guys might know, it's OCaml, but this programming language has taught us sort of the theory behind computer science, a lot of different ways on how to understand computation. And this course has really given me a struggle because, you know, I didn't come with a CS background at all in high school, and so each semester I learned a little bit more about CS, and this course has definitely given me a push.
All right, Walter, so far, what would you say is your favorite project?
This is actually nice because we are in finals right now, and so we are pretty much wrapping up our projects for this semester. One of the really interesting ones that I've done right now with my team has been making an AI tic-tac-toe player. Now, this is interesting because this project was one of my most challenging ones, discrete math. Now, discrete math is challenging, but once you see its applications in CS, it honestly explains a lot of what's going on in terms of what you're using, what tools you're using. You basically are using a mini-max algorithm, and I could go on, but basically it allows you to find the next best move. The great part about Olin is that we're very open to explaining our projects. We love telling you what we were thinking, why it's important, and overall just why it's so cool, because engineering is pretty cool.
As for me, I actually just finished presenting it today. It's a model where we modeled how fast or how much magic would a magic broom need to get up to 5,000 feet in 10 minutes. Why would this be my favorite project? Because all semester, you know, I was learning a little bit about coding in a language called MATLAB, and all semester I had kind of been avoiding it. And on this project, I told myself, hey, you're going to push yourself and you're going to do as much as you can. I coded a lot of it, probably 80% of it, and it worked. I'm not going to lie, I cried. I cried of happiness. And I think, you know, those are the sort of projects that are validating. You know, they show that you're improving and you're learning, and those are the type of projects I want to continue doing.
Don't get us wrong, projects here are hard. They're really hard, and it's okay to feel confused and even sometimes dumb, but the important thing is that everyone around you is also trying to figure stuff out. And so don't ever feel left out. If you need anyone to talk to, you have two friendly faces here that definitely have gone through the struggle and can definitely help you with any sort of question that you may have in terms of any sort of support. So don't feel afraid to reach out to either of us. So we will definitely leave our contacts down below as well. So next question, what's your favorite thing about being at Olin?
I think for me, it would be kind of like the living on your own aspect. You have your own bathroom. I'm in a room by myself, even though in a normal year I'd have a roommate there. But even at that, you know, you have your own bathroom and you have your own fridge and microwave, and you know, you can wake up whenever you want. You know, you clean whenever you need to. No one's telling you what to do. It's comforting to just sit here and be like, wow, I'm really here on my own.
Personally, my favorite thing about Olin, and one of the reasons why I loved and why I chose here, is because the academic rigor here is so intense. I knew that I was going to struggle a lot. And the good thing about that is that as soon as you struggle and you pass that barrier, things start to become easier. The easier stuff becomes really easy, and the hard stuff becomes more adaptable and more comfortable in a way to how you're approaching things. The great thing about Olin is that we have Wellesley and Babson next to us. We're not just a small school in the middle of nowhere. We have a school that's focused on entrepreneurship right next to us. We have the #1 women's liberal arts college a couple minutes away through a shuttle that, unfortunately because of COVID, is not running. But you can go to either campuses, work with different types of people, see different things. We are not alone. We have a lot of people that we can talk to, a lot of friends that I have at Babson, a lot of friends that I've met at Wellesley. I loved having my academic life here and having my social life, probably at Babson or at Wellesley. Good thing is that you can interact with different people. So that kind of leads us on to our next question, which is, Olin is really small. Is that ever a problem?
I think, I don't know, at least for me, you know that the people you're interacting with are safe and healthy and they're getting tested. But obviously that's in like COVID situation. When I was applying to colleges, I was looking for a small experience. Here I can walk down and everyone does know me, and everyone, you know, wants to talk to you. Everyone is friendly, and I think that is just so nice to have.
So let's be real, having a campus that has a certain number of students, and let that be like around 86, 87 people, it does get kind of small. It kind of does, but like I mentioned before, you're able to branch out. You don't necessarily need to be stuck at Olin. Of course, not everyone is going to find this place, you know, extravagant and want to just have a social life here. A lot of people want to explore at Boston. A lot of people want to go to other campuses, and during a regular school year, that's possible. I would recommend that you not look at the numbers and saying, oh my God, 86, wow, that's so little. We have Babson and we have Wellesley, and once you mesh all three of us together, we add up to quite a lot. Definitely understand that we have more than just 86 or 350 in the whole school.
More along those lines, we have our final question. So what would you say that the Olin work-life balance looks like?
Work-life and balance. So personally, I do all my classes in the morning technically, and I have most of my classes earlier on in the day. I work out in my room because of COVID 3 times per week, and that's nice because I don't need to go to a certain gym. I do my workouts at my room. I love the fact that I can just go to class here and then work out and then probably jump back in, hop on a meeting. The balance is pretty nice because you struggle with a lot of the problems with certain classmates, especially your first year, because everyone's taking the same classes as you, or if not most of the classes with you. So you're able to really touch base with everyone else. They're able to help you, most importantly. And so that balance of being like, okay, like this person can help me, and then maybe I can go work out, or this person can help me and maybe then I could watch an episode of, I don't know, Gossip Girl, New Girl. But honestly, it just depends on how you meet people and how you interact with people. And sometimes it gets a little lonely because you might think you are a burden to someone, but actually people want to help you. All in all, the work-life balance is, you know, it's nice. It's nice because you struggle a lot, which forces you to learn, and then you have some sort of reward, which is like, oh, I throw myself in my bed, or I will go for a walk, or I will work out.
Professors and, like you said, their assistants, they're all like, please ask me questions. Please show up to my office hours. Like I want to be teaching, and that is incredible on its own. I really think the workload is as much as you want it to be. If you want to add more stuff on top of your base workload, so say you want to join us and work for the Office of Admissions, you know, that adds some hours to your workload. And say you want to join Formula or Baja, which are some of the big project teams, that will add a lot of time to your workload. Like I would say it easily adds 6 to 7 hours per week.
And if you feel like you can't add more stuff to your workload, that's also totally fine, because not everyone can do everything, right? Not everyone can add an extra class or add an extra club. If you feel like you're overwhelmed, don't worry, it's okay. Our courses are really challenging. They involve a lot of things in one course. It's not just math, it's math, science, and probably, you know, computation or CS. Yeah, it's a lot of things that mesh together, and our courses are not easy. Let's face it, they are really challenging, but Olin knows that you can do it. Olin knows that we are capable of finding the best way to learn these things through these courses. So that's all that pretty much encompasses work and life balance. All right, so that is the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for listening to us, our perspective on your questions. And if you have any more questions, of course, feel free to leave them down in the comments section.
Or DM them to @OlinAdmission.
That also, I mean, that works. Honestly, wherever you're able to manage to find us, you can even still send your questions to the Office of Admission directly through an email. They're always more than willing to be able to answer your question. And the great thing about it is that we made this video because we know that they have a lot of questions that they get from you guys. So we decided to make a video on it and collab on certain platforms to be able to express and share that information with all of you guys.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time.
This is the Alright.
Alright, so